What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, today I wanted to go ahead and talk about probably the hottest, and when I say hottest, I mean the hottest topic regarding Xdefiant right now on social media. No matter where you go, whether it's content on YouTube, streamers, you can go on the Reddit board. Oh my God, it's all over the Reddit board. You can hit up Twitter. Everywhere that you look right now, everybody is discussing the b-hopping when it comes to Xdefiant. Now, of course, I'm going to go ahead and put my 2 cents in on this overall topic here, but I'll be real, I don't think a lot of people are going to like what I have to say about all of this. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, as always, before we go ahead and dive deep into the topic of today's video, if you guys are interested in more content just like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. We post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern time, mostly Xdefiant right now, but obviously once Season 4 drops for Modern Warfare 3, I'll go back, I'll discuss that a little bit. But if you guys are interested in both styles of content, both games, and you love hearing an open-minded opinion about everything, by all means, like I said, subscribe and hit that bell. And last but not least, if you guys are interested in any of my live streams, I will be live today over on Twitch. That stream will go live between, I would say, 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern time. And also, we host open lobbies over there as well. So if you hop into the stream and you see an open spot on my squad, you are definitely free to go ahead and take that spot. But like I said, if you guys want to tune in, I got a link to that channel down in the description of this video. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so as I was saying, you cannot go anywhere right now without seeing people discussing the bunny hopping within Xdefiant. And I'm going to get so much hate for saying this right now, but truthfully, I don't think it should be removed, toned down, or anything done to the b-hopping whatsoever. If you really think about it, this has been in the game since day one. This was the vibe that they have been shooting for, a movement-style shooter, right? And they have indeed toned it down many of times. It used to be even crazier than what it is right now. But again, after so many nerfs, that's not enough for the community. They want it completely removed, not toned down, not, nerfed. They want it removed altogether. They want people who b-hop to have every disadvantage known to mankind. Basically, they want the game dumbed down to be a little bit more simplistic. And I have to be, again, I'm on the opposite side of this because I am a dude who loves skill gaps within FPS games. And in a game like Xdefiant, where there's not much to really keep you for that adrenaline rush, what gives me my fix is going on nice streaks and taking advantage of the movement that they give to you. That is really where I get my enjoyment out of this game. Growing and becoming better at the game is my excitement. It kind of, relates back to my video from yesterday about how Call of Duty players want streaks within Xdefiant, I can understand where you guys are coming from, but it's such a counterintuitive thing to introduce into Xdefiant because it will slow down the pacing, and we don't want them to slow down the pacing. Right? We want them to have this style where you want people to push OBJ and, hop on OBJ and want to play for the win. But on top of that, the movement adds to that feel of this game. It really does. Again, as I said before, this is a movement shooter. Whether we like it or not, it is. And I know a lot of people say, oh, this is the newcomers in the FPS scene that are ruining, gaming for us and making it so it's, all about b-hopping and all. I'm sorry to say, but this has always been in FPS games. Even before I was practically born into the FPS realm, people have been competing just like this in other FPS shooters. Think of like Quake and the Doom games and all these other arena shooters that have absurdly fast movement. I mean, look at that gameplay. They're constantly b-hopping. They're constantly strafing. It's not something that's brand new to the gaming scene. This has been around for a while now. And like I said, I hate to break it to you, but I think that the removal of b-hopping would literally kill the flow of what this game is all about. It would dumb it down to make sure that all opponents are way more equal, which would remove the skill gap, once again, removing the enjoyment factor of the game, the improvement of being better at Xdefiant. And it's really sad to see, because I feel like over half these players barely gave this game any time to learn how to do some of these movements and to learn how to enjoy some of these styles within this game. Because, to be honest, if you've been playing this since the first beta, you knew that this was going to be a movement shooter. It was no shocker, no surprise. So the majority of the people that are not happy with this, in my opinion, are probably newcomers who are just trying out Xdefiant, who didn't know what this game was trying to aim for. And I'll be real, a lot of the times when I see people complaining about the B-hopping, a lot of these people don't even know how to move in this game. I see them still side-strafing and sidestepping like it's Call of Duty still. Another quick tip, because a lot of people think the movement in this game is really rough. Please, for the love of God, I'm getting tired of seeing gameplay of people side-strafing like that and then getting pissed off that the game is so clunky. Hold straight. Stop using your left analog stick to shift to the left and right while you're running straight. Just hold it straight. Please, I can't look at it anymore. I can't. Hold it straight, and when you want to curve a little bit, use your right analog stick to look left and right, and that's how you get the smooth movement, the smooth momentum, and that is how you start chaining the B-hops. You know, it's funny because a lot of the people are claiming that B-hopping takes no skill. It's something that requires zero skill. You know, anybody in the world can do it, yet they don't do it. If it was so easy, if it was the easiest thing in the world and it took no skill, why aren't you doing it? Because they can't. They try to B-hop and they see that they get stuck in one spot and you're an easy kill. You can't just simply spam the B-hop button and be successful. There is a way to do things. It's a skill gap. It's a style that you must learn and you must improve to become better. And like I said, learning how to move your character is definitely one of those things that you must learn to become better. Okay, I might make a video to, further describe this to make it better, but I don't want to go into detail on how to move your character. This video is basically just me defending, I guess, B-hopping. But for mouse and keyboard players, it's the same thing. Instead of, in Call of Duty, I'm holding W, but at the same time, when I want to adjust my character, I'm tapping A and D. I'm tapping them back and forth to kind of adjust my player a little bit more to the left or a little bit more to the right while I'm running. You can't do that. You must hold W, and that's it. Use your mouse to look around and curve. Sometimes you can use A and D to adjust yourself, but 9 times out of 10 in this game, you just want to run straight and then use your mouse or your right analog stick to look around and help you move and get that fluid movement down. But as I was saying, the majority of the people who are saying that it's easy and B-hopping takes no skill and they don't want B-hopping in the game in general, it's just a spammy thing, they don't even know how to move in the game. Like I said, people, you gotta give it a little time and learn. You gotta learn the game and understand how it works. And I'll be honest with you, B-hopping, those players aren't that hard to kill. I kill them all the time. And once again, I feel like people are over-exaggerating, In Call of Duty, it's a lot easier to nail down one of those targets because the AA is so freaking strong. Whereas in Xdefiant, this is more classic aim assist. This is like OG Call of Duty, right? It's almost identical. So you got to get back into the flow, get your aim down. The majority of people who I'm watching who are mad about people B-hopping, do you know how choppy their aim looks? Like they're not even smoothly tracking the target, which would have gotten them the kill. No, they literally aim and then they no smoothness at all. They chop over to the left while the enemy is, B-hopping back to the right. It's like, you can't expect to track anybody if you can't even have smooth, accurate aiming. And then, of course, there's a lot of people saying that the people who B-hop are just doing it to take advantage of the bad hit registration right now, which once again is completely false because even when this game did have good hit registration, people were B-hopping because that's what the developers intended this game to be, a movement shooter. And there's still tons of other games out there that are movement shooters with good hit reg. And people B-hop all the time. People don't do this to, finesse their way through the hit registration at Xdefiant. No, they do it because, once again, it's an added skill gap. I mean, I'll be real with you. I really have to make this point. I really got to make this point. I guarantee over half the people who don't like B-hopping in this game probably want Titanfall 3, right? You probably really want Titanfall 3. I guarantee it. But don't you know that Titanfall is a heavy-based movement shooter, if not one of the craziest movement shooters I've ever witnessed? The movement in that game is so insane that I couldn't even keep up with it. Yet over half the people who don't want this probably want a Titanfall 3. What are you guys going to do in that game? Are you going to say the same thing? Are you going to tell them to tone it down? Probably not. More than likely not. But it's the same situation. Splitgate. Everybody loves Splitgate, but Splitgate had insane movement as well. You see what I'm saying here, guys? You see what I'm saying here? Just calm down and adapt. That's the best thing I can say. You will. I promise you, you will. It's rough right now, but I guarantee once the game gets polished off and you start to master the movement a bit more, you're going to become insane. You're going to get way better at this game. But to me personally, when I see people saying this, it just seems like they want to tone it back to be, once again, like I said in my other video about this, the score streaks and kill streaks, people just want this game to be another Call of Duty. And I said it time and time and time again. Yes, yeah, we might want to hype it up and get people from the Call of Duty community to try it out. But the worst part about that is that the Call of Duty community always, at the end of the day, tries to change the game into Call of Duty instead of accepting it for what it is. And the same thing is happening here. Call of Duty players go to Battlefield, they wanted to turn into Call of Duty. Call of Duty players go to Rainbow Six Siege, they wanted to turn into Call of Duty. Wherever Call of Duty players go, they want that game to completely forget its identity and turn itself into Call of Duty. And that's what's happening here. People want streaks. People want slower movement. They want it to be extraordinarily basic, like COD, and easy, where anybody can pick it up and basically win an engagement, but at the same time get clapped from an engagement. Whereas for me personally, when it comes to Xdefiant, I don't want that. I want to be able to learn this game, learn the movement, learn the flow, learn everything that the developers intended, and use that in my power so I can gain an advantage over half of the player base. I don't care how you guys think that sounds. That's what I want to learn. I want to feel myself improve in this game. With no skill-based matchmaking, it's even better because you do feel yourself improve. You do feel yourself getting better at the title. This is my worst KD game I've played in a hot minute, guys. Straight up. I had a 1.3 at a certain point in time, okay? I was getting demolished, and now I'm back up to a 1.6, and I'm probably on the road to a 2 KD, to be honest with you, probably above, and that's playing a mix of solo and in the 6-man party. But you guys got to keep in mind, when I play a 6-man party, it's not like we're talking and communicating. It's open lobbies on stream. So it's basically a bunch of solos hopping into a 6-man, and we're just playing like we're solos. You know what I'm saying? So that's, in my opinion, pretty decent, but it shows that I'm improving at the game bit by bit, piece by piece, and it's all because of the skill gap. If B-hopping was removed, so many players would be on a similar level. That's it. And that's not what we want, because guess what? There's no other adrenaline rush to this game really besides getting better at it. And that's nothing wrong. I love that. I love that about Xdefiant. But that's what makes Call of Duty shine. Yes, it's so simple that anybody could pick it up, but it has streaks as well. So yes, anybody can get a kill, but the adrenaline rush comes from being able to get multiple of those kills, because it's hard to do because everybody's basically on the same playing field. And when you do finally do it and you camp hard enough and you're able to, strategically get those streaks, then, you can finally pop off and get that rush. But that's not how Xdefiant rolls. Xdefiant doesn't have streaks. The adrenaline rush is knowing that you are improving and you're getting better at the game to the point where you can start winning more and more games, beating more and more opponents, and improving, just simply improving. And like I said before, if we remove B-hopping, I personally believe that will dumb down the skill gap so freaking much that, truthfully, I don't even know if it'll be that enjoyable anymore. You might as well, literally at that point, you should just go back to COD. I'd go back to COD. I'm telling you right now, this game is great because of no skill-based matchmaking, but I could still stomp out lobbies in Call of Duty as well. It's not a problem for me. Well, I'll still get my streaks. I'll still play COD how I want to play COD. But it'll be the same. I'll just put on a Stalker, stock in Modern Warfare 3 and run around that way. What makes this game shine is the fact that it's so hyper-focused around team play, working together as a unit. The abilities, the lack of streaks to make people actually want to move and engage, and then on top of that, the crispy gunplay mixed with fantastic movement to always add a skill gap, so when you're going up against opponents, you can truly see, you can tell who is the better player. It's not like in COD where you die and you're like, oh my god, more cheese, oh I died from this garbage, oh my god, no, when I die in Xdefiant, and I know for a fact that player is doing good. Or if they're whooping me, they are just simply better. And it's because there's a gap in the game. It's not just gun-on-gun action here. There's also movement involved that you have to learn to help you improve and get a one-up on the opponent. And literally, just like I said, there's no skill-based matchmaking. Just like in the other games, like Splitgate, there's no skill-based matchmaking. So there's no reason to remove the style of movement. because you will still find opponents at some point in time that aren't going to play like that. You will find some more casual games, unless, of course, the game dies down and it's just a very competitive base. But right now, it has millions of people. I've found plenty of players who aren't b-hopping around. That's just the mix. They don't have to remove all the movement. They can keep it, just go with the flow. People did it in Titanfall. They went with the flow. They didn't complain about movement. If they got people who didn't jump as much, they enjoyed it. And if they got people who jumped a lot, they dealt with it. Splitgate, like I said, they didn't complain about the movement, guys. Well, maybe they did, but they dealt with it. Again, they had lobbies with them, then they had lobbies without them. Same thing here. Why remove the fun factor, the skill gap of this game, when you could just simply do the same thing like the others? You know, if you are truly a casual and you don't care about stats whatsoever, and you don't care about anything that's going on, and you just want to casually hop on, this should be irrelevant. Because like I said, you know, if you want to go ahead and get another match, you can find another match. Leave the game and hop into a new one. You will find more casual players. You will. But, you know, this seems like a complaint of more of people who might be, you know, as I say, closet sweats. People who are sweaty, but they don't want to admit it. They don't want to actually improve. They just want, I guess, easier lobbies that they can stomp out. But in reality, there's always going to be players better, and you have to accept that. You either want to improve to get better than those players, or you just accept it, don't care, and you move on. You get whooped up, and, you know, whoop-de-doo. You move on to the next game, and maybe you'll find something better. But to be honest, I don't think the removal of this movement would be any good for Xdefiant. And it just, to me personally, doesn't seem to make too much sense. You know, this has literally been the identity of this game since day one. Literally, the very first beta that ever launched, this was the identity. To remove it completely now and make b-hopping irrelevant would literally strip the core of what this game was built around. And I don't know if many people understand that, or if they've been around long enough to understand that, but that's the case when it comes to Xdefiant. It's always been a movement shooter. So I'm done rambling your guys' ears off. It's been a pretty long video, but I just wanted to express my points on why I think that bunny hopping should stay within, you know, Xdefiant here. You have Call of Duty that has a more toned down pacing. You could play that. And then you have Xdefiant, which has always been known as a movement shooter, which, you know, again, has no skill-based matchmaking, so you don't have to worry about versing those sweats 24/7. And I guarantee once ranked comes in, you know, an official rank, not the rank that they have now that doesn't give you anything, you're just testing it out, a real ranked, you know, system, I feel like more sweats will go to that game because it is rewarding. In Call of Duty, I'll be honest, ranked isn't as rewarding because I play COD to get streaks. That's what I play it for. But in Xdefiant, it has a different vibe. It is a different game. So ranked will be a little bit more enjoyable because it's almost kind of what this game is like, and the casual playlist will still indeed be casual, and you will find your pub stompers. You will, don't get me wrong, they'll still be there. But no skill-based matchmaking definitely fixes up, you know, the variety aspect. So overall, again, I just don't think bunny hopping should be removed. That's my 2 cents. But of course, go down in the comment section, leave what you guys think. If you think bunny hopping is bad, let me know why. And of course, if you agree, you know, let me know why as well, why you think bunny hopping might be good to keep into Xdefiant. But as always, if you guys enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. We post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern time. And last but not least, if you guys want to check out any of my live streams, I will be live today over on Twitch around 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern time. You guys can find a link to that channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you all on the next one. Peace out.